Test. What's up, chat? Nix is here. I woke her up. What is good, y'all? Happy off hours time. Late stream. How y'all doing? Hello, everybody who can't make it in the mornings. Early stream. Yeah, to be fair, it's only about 6 hours earlier than I usually stream. I'm here for the Hutch. You're here for the right stream. As promised, Hutch will be blocked. Uh, End of day. So this is gonna be the last time I'll talk about him. But it's pissing me off. So here we are. Honestly, I was gonna let it rock. I was gonna let it rock until I saw that video of Hutch saying that he would accept segregationists into the coalition in 2026. And I was just like, all right, come on now. To be fair, maybe it's only the first 30 seconds because that's all I saw. Maybe he walks it back. Maybe he walks it back, but we'll see. Let's see. Before we get there, did y'all see Hutch isn't always has been the most wrong. The like objectively worst wrong. And honestly, I think I ruffled some feathers because I think Hutch is used to just being ignored because he's such a small streamer. So when he attacks Hassan or even Mike, it's just like whatever because like he's at like 200 viewers, so who cares? You know? He's at like 700 on YouTube though, so he has some motion there. But he does also have like 1 million followers, so that's it's pretty abysmal for what he has. So you're being a record by saying no segregation is well, we'll get to that. We're gonna cover. Oh, hold on. That means I need to turn over my food. Oh, excuse me, doggy. Thought I made me jump. My bad. My bad. Um, but yeah, I'm making fries. That's my dinner. Nix, go back up there. Come on. Nope, that's mine. Come here. Sit. Go back to sleep. Um, but yeah, there will be no streams for the next 3 days. So this is gonna make up for that a little bit. Yeah, I'll be back on Saturday though. I'll be back on Saturday, and then there'll be no stream next.
FIFO Reserve gifted a tier 1 sub to Maple Takes.
The 5th, whenever
this
the 5th
is their first gift sub in the channel.
Next at night exception. True. People Reserve, thank you for the gift sub. Anyway, we're gonna get started here in a second. Before we get started, did y'all see? Okay, y'all see the funniest thing that happened in a song stream today? First he was talking about FBA in ADOS, getting into black people's business. That was kind of funny. But the funniest thing that happened is when Hassan was watching Jon Stewart. Hassan was watching Jon Stewart, and he said that he was gonna Daily Show. I knew it was gonna be that. Yes. And earlier in the day, he made fun of a No Jokes Chatter, but he skipped a Jon Stewart segment because he said it felt weird, and then he got called the woke of the day for skipping the Jon Stewart segment. I don't think they were saying it seriously, but it was like the funniest thing. I was like, that's so funny. That's so funny. It felt right. I mean, he was entirely correct. It did feel weird about the way they were joking about like ICE murders. It felt like it didn't really meet the moment of like people are angry right now, and like comedy has its place, but like, you know, it's your job, especially as like the liberal media, to validate that anger and point it in the direction that it needs to go. Like point the cannon, right? Instead of trying to or try to, you know, diffuse it, right? Try to put out the fuse. I also skipped that like 2 minutes in today. It was gross. Yeah, it just I don't watch Jon Stewart anymore because he copyright strikes me on YouTube. But SNL was even worse. He made jokes didn't even mention the murder. Stop! 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 Thank you. No, no. She's probably like, please, I want to go to sleep. All right, you know what, doggy? You can go to sleep. You can go to sleep. All right, come on. Come on. Ugh. Got my fries. Why did I bring this entire bowl? I'll put it right there. Anyway, y'all want to get the actual subject of the stream? This won't be a long stream. It'll probably be an hour long. Ooh, before that, I checked in on oh boy, my first hater. Today. Sometimes you just want to see, you know? Ah, shoot. I need to stop cursing. This is my New Year's resolution. Yes, the rapper. And one of his VODs, it was funny. One of his VODs was just complaining that nobody talks to him anymore. It was this whole rant that he went on. He's like, I'm such a nice guy. He didn't say that, but that's kind of the vibe I got. Like, still, no self-reflection. I mean, fries make me sad I don't have any. They're okay. I don't like my fries like insanely crispy. I think I pulled them a little bit too soon. Anyway, I have a few more left actually. I'll just finish eating these. Aw, Hutch didn't reply to my last message. How disappointing. What's the last session? We'll get to it. We will get to it. Oh, awesome. Nice bathroom isn't here, but it's F nice bathroom, bro. Cause I'm bronze 4 in league. He can suck it. Call me iron. I'm bronze now. Pulling a Haley Welsh. He is pulling a Haley Welsh. But he's never gonna he's never gonna get to reply because he's blocked. I said that I'd block him at the end of the day, and I meant it. There. Promoted bronze 4 28 LP. It took me a embarrassing amount of time to realize that there was 100 LP for each rank. But yeah, that's what I was doing today a little bit. I was making some chicken nuggets. They're marinating right now. And then I also, what was I also doing? Okay. Did y'all hear about the Juan Crow? The Juan Crow discourse? That's a thing that's also happening, apparently. Is that just my Twitter feed? Also, not completely separate, but a little bit tangentially related to this. People hate Hutch. Bro has like very little emotion and very little stand. Stop it. Okay, hold on. Bro, I am so vindicated in not liking Iran. This might be a clip chimp, and it very clearly may be. But like, I'm gonna start believing people. Let's see. Let's see if it's a clip chimp or if it's real. The caption says, "Stable Ronaldo gives his opinion on Alex Preddy losing his life in involving ICE after seeing the Los Pollos tweet. Stop thinking about politics. Stop thinking about government stuff. That guy lost his life over the most dumb shit ever. That was so disgusting." Wait, is he anti-ICE or okay? I can't tell.
I don't even give a fuck if people hate me for this. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people are like, Ron, don't give your take on this. Bro, it's not even a take on it. It's not even a political debate. Brother, that guy lost his life over some bullshit. That's fucked up, right? That should have
Okay,
never
this is a good thing.
happened.
I don't know why. Okay, the caption lied.
That's not GG. That's just being a good. That's called being a normal fucking human. Like, what are you talking about? This guy lost his life. Like, I don't even know that much on it.
See, I told you. I felt it in my bones.
But it's like, this isn't even, that's not even political to say. That's that's literally the truth. That's literally just the truth. If like, stop, like for 1 second, stop thinking about politics. Stop thinking about like government stuff. Think about it in general. Brother, that guy lost his life over the most dumb shit ever. Like, that is so disgusting. Like, I saw that shit. That shit's fucked up. That shit's not cool, bro. Simple as that.
Dang, they lost the radical Rons.
But I don't want this chat turning into like political shit because, bro, you know how these Twitter pages be facts or no? They'll cut up me saying that and they'll somehow twist it against me. It's like, bro, that's why I don't like.
That's literally what happened.
Talking about this shit. Simple as that.
The caption literally says, "Stop thinking about politics. Stop thinking about government stuff. That guy lost his life over the dumb shit. That's was so disgusting." Like maybe like this kind of like gives it away a little bit, but like you take this part of the caption, you're just like, what does he mean by this? This is why you always watch the clips. You always watch the clips. I never comment on things until I watch the clips. I still stand on the Ron's a moron. He's stupid. First, talk about KDB. We talked about KDB this morning. They sound pretty dumb for the caption. That's what I thought as well. That's how the caption framed it. It was like he's calling pretty dumb for, standing up for that woman. Because that's what Los Pollos said. Los Pollos said that he was doing dumb shit, and that got him killed. And it was not necessarily that it was his fault, but like it's kind of his fault. That's kind of what Los Pollos said. So Ron's take was better than Los Pollos. Like, that's not even a hard lock. Ron had a better take than KDB now. To be fair, KDB could also have been clip trimmed. I have no idea. I had not seen the new Boots Riley movie trailer. Bars in Hell. This is true. It is. Anyway, we're getting distracted. It's time to talk about. Oh, also, while I was gone, this is the last thing I'll say. I was getting into 40K, Warhammer 40K lore. That is insane. But not the lore, the gameplay. I've heard a little bit of the lore. There's like everything is bad, nothing is good. It sucks. That's kind of the whole vibe of Warhammer 40K. I was looking into the gameplay, and it's just like it's a tabletop like game, right? So like think of Dungeons and Dragons has like like has like a battle map and you have roll dice and stuff. It's like that, but it's like directly like PvP. It's antagonistic, right? It's like it's two players. You play against another person, right? You're trying any of the PC games? No, I have not. This is my first thing that I saw a video from a channel called Wallace on YouTube, right? He does like animated videos why it would suck to live as X or why it would suck to live as Y. Right? And he made a video today, or technically, yeah, it was today, that said why it would suck to live as an Imperial Guard. To be fair, the title didn't include Warhammer. So at first I had no idea what he was talking about until he was like halfway through the video, essentially. It was just why it would suck to be an Imperial Guard. He had to add that people were like, what is an Imperial Guard? What is that from? um, but so I saw that and I was like, oh, I remember I went and I looked and I found, I watched some Warhammer 40K lore. Like I saw Bricky's video. He had 2 videos explaining every faction in Warhammer 40K. I saw that video, but I still don't know half of what's going on in Warhammer 40K. You know what I mean? There's a lot that's going on there. There's like elves and orcs and zombies and like gods, but the gods were murdered and there was one god left and he was also murdered. And there's humans, but the humans are like little ants because they're freaking everywhere across the entire freaking universe essentially. And there's one human who's like not a human but kind of a human, who's the king emperor human, who's like super powerful for reasons that nobody can explain. And there's a bunch of humans, and if you were born on a human world that's like a war world, you are literally bred to be. This is what the video is about. You're bred to be like a soldier essentially, and they just kind of throw bodies at every problem. This is a whole thing. And then there's like this weird thing with like there's like hell, but the hell is not actually hell like below hell. There's like a and that's not a curse because that's just a word. It's like there's like an in between liminal space of hell that's called the warp that people can travel through to do like warp to travel through space in. But in the warp it's like hell, so when people die their souls go there. But there's also like chaos gods, which are just like the devil but like 7 of them or like 4 5 of them, I don't know how many. I think it's 4 of them. There are 4 of them. There's 4 of them, and they're just like they represent different aspects of like the 7 deadly sins kind of thing. But like there's only 4 of them, so like they double up, I guess. uh, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Anyway, I was watching this video and then I was like, how does Warhammer actually play? Right? Because I've seen like some I wouldn't say a lot. I've seen some lore videos. I'm like, okay, there's different factions and there's space marines and that, the freaking like amped up super soldiers or whatever, and there's giant robots that people attach their limbs to and they literally can't leave or they die. It's a whole thing. I was like, how does the game actually play? I looked it up. It is literally the most complicated thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like how I had imagined that I was speaking to my friend about like D&D, who's never played D&D before, and trying to explain what an AC is, right? And what like a difficulty class is, and like what the difference between that is, and like the different skills and when the skills are applicable where. Like trying to explain that to somebody who's like a toddler is like trying to explain to me the tabletop version of Warhammer 40K, right? It's literally insane. Literally insane. It's craziness. There's a lot going on. There's a faster, smaller scale playing 40K tabletop called Kill Team, smaller amount of units. Oh. I didn't tell you the worst part. The worst part is for the actual Warhammer 40K game is you and another person. The shortest option that they had was 2 hours. They put that on the screen. I fell out. I was like, no, that's insane. That's insane. And I was like, how? How could a tabletop role playing game with just 2 people fighting on this battle take 2 hours? And then they started playing, and I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. They have there's 7 different phases for a combat turn in Warhammer 40K. Chat. There's a movement phase, and there's a command phase, and there's a fight phase, and there's a combat phase. There's 7. I'm not even joking. There's 7 different phases. On your turn, you take 7 different moves and different actions. You move certain units there and to other places, and you can command and use a thing from your sheet for your specific faction. There's that. I can't even try to explain it. I don't understand it. I didn't finish the video either, so I would mess it up. It sounds way too complicated. It is very complicated. Some have double movement. Some have kill-based movement. Don't stop. You're gonna break my brain. D&D battles can take hours. Yeah, but at the very least, it will take hours among 6 people. You know what I mean? It's 6 people. And it shouldn't take more than 2-3 hours, unless it's you're end of campaign, level 15, tier 4 players, right? And in that case, you know what you signed up for. But this is 2 people sitting in front of each other, being where do I move my Space Marine commander? Well, according to his ability, he can do an advanced move which lets him jump over this obstacle here. But if he does the advanced move, he can't attack in the same turn. Let me pull out my tape measure real quick. Yeah, that's about 5 inches. And my commander could move about 7 inches, but it's about 2 inches of terrain in front of him. And so he would have to either take the 7 inches to go around the terrain, or he can take the 5 inches, but then do an advanced move, but then he can't attack. I wonder which to do. That's it. There's just so much going on. And that's only one part of the combat phase of your turn. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get into Warhammer 40K. It just seems extraordinarily complicated. I just bought these for my sandwiches. I'll just order some more. They'll be here tomorrow, I guess. Anyway. Watching JJK. Have you seen the recent episode? Is that the Maki one? If that is the case, then yes, I've seen the Maki episode. I swear. And then we'll get to the Hutch stuff, I promise. But I swear, just randomly, I will be walking around my apartment. I will stop. I'll put my arms up and I'll say, Junichi-san! Junichi-san, kill Maki! Please! Please, Junichi-san! It's so funny, bro. It's so funny. Oh, and the edits of Junichi just aura farming is the funniest thing ever. I can't. Ronto was begging for his life. He wasn't actually. Ronto was kind of about it. He was like, yo, I'm going to hold her here even if I die. And he did die. Rest in peace. Not rest in peace. They all sucked. But it was so... it was so funny, bro. Ronto went out thinking that they won. Yeah, he was like, good job, Junichi. You did it. Bro had no idea. No clue. No idea. Yes, I have seen it. Sorry. Anyway, let's get to why we're actually here today. Because you may be wondering, you may be asking yourself, why, Sean, why are you streaming so late? Well, you might have, if you see my Twitter, right? If you see my Twitter, you might have seen me going back and forth with a few people on the TL. And we're going to talk about it. Maybe a couple tweets, yeah. We're going to talk about it. Because Hutch is getting blocked, and it's going to be the last time I ever talk about this loser. I won't go over what I talked about this morning, because I covered it a little bit this morning. We're going to start with... Start with this. Right? Hutch and I were going back and forth. I think I ratioed him like almost every time, because I'm just about it like that. Okay. Next. Ugh. I can't believe she ate my freaking buns. They cost like $4. Freaking Biden's economy, dog. Anyway, I won't go over what I went over this morning because I don't think it's particularly relevant. But hey, it's tomorrow now, by the way. Um, Today is tomorrow, indeed. But if you want to see it, you can go to my tweets and see the lead up to this. But we'll start with this tweet. And this is where I realized, and this is what I think make Hutch so mad, which is why he's crying in my mentions. Where I start when I said, Hilly Blake, it's worse than I thought. And it's this tweet. This is Trump saying, talk that blank and your movement manages to secure any meaningful political power. You guys are basically defined by constant losing and blaming it on a rigged system, no different than what MAGA does. The person said, try to win without us. And Harris is going to lose Michigan and Georgia. Hutchinson said, we will win without you once again. he just like doubled and tripled down on this sentiment. Doubled and tripled down on like, we can win without you. Right? This was my response. I think this one really ticked them off. Let me not accidentally freeze scroll. I covered this as well. This is him being objectively wrong. And this is what Blakely said about it. Notice that liberals who love to weaponize anti-blackness against the left for critiquing Democrats never have willing to say when libs trash talk black people on the left. Clown emoji. And I reposted it. Mostly because it was shitting on Hutch. I think it was funny. Hutch got mad at this too. But we'll get to that as well. This person said, Schrodinger's leftist, irrelevant to victory, responsible for failure. Right? See, Hutch was getting drugged on Twitter. Like, honestly. Hutch was getting drugged on Twitter. And I covered this already. And then I posted this. Because Hutch responded to this, or with this screenshot. Sean reposted it and showed this. And he said, are you even kidding me with this? At Sean the Black. Laughing face, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. Right? To which I responded and I said, bro said I'm complicit in murder, but draws the line at being called a racist. And keep this in mind. I want to keep this one over here because this comes back again in the future. And then I responded to myself and I said, Hutch is lucky I ain't been on his blame for the past few years, cozying up to racist sex pests, but seeing the way he's talked about black leftists is enough for me to assign him that label. Right? And then continuing on. This is also next video that I reposted. This is Hutch. Then I also posted this. I said, you also didn't support a black woman, Hutch. You supported the establishment like you always do. That's why you were writing for Biden after his atrocious debate performance. Your killer instincts never change. Now stay out of my mentions. I'm done with you. He then responded, this is an honest question. Do you or your lefty mini Hassan pals ever actually take 2 minutes to verify the claims like this? Take some pride in your work. Holy blank, make your just the tiniest bit of effort. And he showed these posts, be like, Pals friends is a plain fact that a lot of Democrats want Joe Biden to step aside and open up the convention. This isn't the elite. This is isn't the media. These are the median Dems. These numbers are brutal. Also, keep in mind, this is him waiting until a poll came out to say it. Great political instincts, by the way. And then this is again after this happened in the first place. So again, the question is like, Hutch waiting until general consensus, and polling has come out to actually be like, maybe Joe Biden should step down, is again killer political instincts, because he, did not come to that conclusion when the rest of us do. But yeah, 4 days before he stepped down. Thanks a lot, bro. Yeah. When 2/3 of Dems polled, wanted him to step aside, staying in would be more undemocratic than stepping aside. How is it anti-democratic when a solid majority of Dem base wants him to step aside? He will step aside voluntarily, Pelosi is forcing it to happen, and she generally gets what she wants. Again, it's also important to note that Hutch doesn't care about what the Dem majority means so long as it's about genocide, which is why Hutch is pro-genocide, right? To which case, in response to this, I responded. I said, oh, blank, I'm glad you asked. Yes, I did. Here's a highlight on your Twitch where you were defending Biden continuing to run after the first debate, not flipping when literally every serious political analyst already did. You are objectively the most incorrect person, and it's sad. Right? And this is what he was saying the day after the day after the debate that was so bad that caused Joe Biden to drop out in the first place. Right? This was a 40-minute video of Hutch being asked the question, do you still support Biden after this performance? And he was like, yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy. Trump is worse. Right? Not even entertaining the idea that the rest of us were already at, which is Joe Biden should have stepped down in February. Right? He should have stepped down after the debate performance, and Hutch was like, nah, that's still my guy. What's up, Nandre? Is there with X Jaws?
I stand with X Jaws.
Oh, Nandre, thank you for the raid. This is the first time I ever got a Nandre raid. This is the first time I ever streamed this late. Hello. Yep. But I hope your stream was good. We're talking about Hutch. I'm so sorry, chatters, if you don't know who Hutch is. But don't worry. After this, I will never talk about Hutch again. Because to be entirely fair and real, he's literally irrelevant. Only guy more bald than me with more hair than me. I was gonna say his just random clips of him being wrong in every situation, because there's always a clip. But I showed, because we looked at this morning, right? This is him just writing for Biden, right? After the debate performance, which is literally what I said, by the way. If you look at my original claim, I said, you were writing for Biden after his atrocious debate performance. Right? And he's claiming that I didn't do my work, and I came with the receipts, because I obviously did. And I was like, here's a link in case you wanted to see it. Right? Here, I'll get to this in a second too. Then he said, I changed my mind and warmed up to the replacing him before AOC. Did you ever even listen to any of the arguments at the time as to all the ways that were that doing so was risky? Do you think that AOC, Sanders, Ilhan Omar were unreasonable in their decision to stick with Biden? Like, this was like some kind of own. Like, I don't know if he thinks that like I'm like an AOC stan or whatever, or like a Bernie Sanders stan or Ilhan Omar stan. He's trying to use the same argumentation that he would use against Hassan, against me. Like, I'm not a stan of any politician. I know it's hard for Hutch to even fathom, right? What? You don't love your politicians? You don't want to suck your politicians off? You don't want to give them a little nibble? What? Like, no, I'm not a fan of any politician. I'm not a fan of any politician. I like some of the stuff that they do. Sit. No. Stop. Sit down. Sit. Sit. Come here. Ow. Her teeth hit my hand. Sounds like politicians are tools for change, not celebrities to be stand. That doesn't make sense to Hutch, right? But she wants my bowl of empty freaking salts because of my fries. Stop searching for my bowl of empty salts. Please, sit down. Sit down. Thanks. Thank you. Ugh. But to this, I responded, yes, they were. But at the very least, they most definitely made deals for concessions from him while doing it. You, on the other hand, are a cuck with bad political instincts who constantly backs the wrong horse, and this is yet another example. Then he responds, John, they're definitely made deals for concessions from him while doing that. What in the blue blank are you talking about? What concessions? For what? Could you even articulate what their concerns were without Googling? List some. Tell me why you think they were unfounded, right? I want you to keep this in mind as well, right? Again, the idea and the concept of people, using and utilizing political pressure to make change, which is something that Hutch says that he supports and that you should do, seems foreign to him. You know what I mean? Seems foreign to him. Don't Google, don't research. Right? Then I said, I've read you don't understand leveraging political power for concessions, like the fundamental or like the foundational principles for politics holistically. Think very hard about what thing was going on that AOC, Bernie, and Ilhan Omar, the entire progressive wing of the party wanted at the time. And I said, it's an arms embargo, Hutch. The thing that was monumentally popular that Kamala and Biden chose to ignore, but it's just war with casualties to you. And he ignored this part. And he said at the time of Biden dropping out, what Biden surprised them and everyone else. Biden surprised them and everyone else was dropping out. What? Like, I didn't even read that part. What is he talking about? Biden surprised everybody when he dropped out? Stop, dog. Please. Stop. Go sit. Ugh. Will you chill? Come on. Come here. Come here. All right. If you're chill, I will take you out if you start messing around, though. All right. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Goodbye. She doesn't listen. I didn't even see this part. Like, what does he mean Biden surprised them? Who did Biden surprise? Everybody knew he was dropping out. This was literally a surprise to no one. Maybe to Hutch, because he came like 4 days before where he was saying, guys, look, I was totally for this. Hutch felt blindsided by Biden is taking it out on others, apparently. Right? And then he said, also, don't dodge my question. You have such a great opportunity to show people how silly and stupid I am. Hutch, I've been doing that this entire time. Buddy, pal, I've been doing that this entire time. You didn't need to provide me this golden opportunity, which I obviously took. He said, educate me. I'm willing to learn. What were AOC, Bernie's, and Omar's concerns, and why were they unreasonable? Go. And I said, yes, you idiot. Yes, an arms embargo was monumentally popular. The concern itself wasn't unreasonable, but sticking with Biden was a stupid decision, as was confirmed when he dropped out. And he said that was concessions they supposedly extract from Biden in exchange for supporting him staying in the race. That was your claim. What are you actually saying? And why don't you answer my question? Third time, like Googling, what were the concerns and why were they unreasonable? Again, am I wrong, chat? Am I wrong that I literally answered this question already? He's asking me, I'll say it again, what concessions did AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Ilhan Omar extract from Biden in order to support him before he dropped out? Right? And I said, an arms embargo. I don't know how much clearer that can get. You have twice. She just doesn't think an arms embargo is a concession for some reason. And this is what I said. I said, I have said this multiple times. But again, I'll explain it to you like the child you are. There are quite many things that could have been demanded from Biden in order to pledge their support. But one that was on the minds of all of their voters was a pledge to end arms to Israel. Right? And then he said, no, you said they did make deals and extract concessions while pushing him to stay in the race. Now you can't, now you're literally just making it up that never happened. Actual headcanon based on nothing. Just because you cover politics, news and politics, and you're making shit up. I'm just like, and this is what confused me. Because Hutch was like getting mad at me for Biden not fulfilling his end of the bargain that he made with the progressives when he decided to drop out. Right? Biden was getting a lot of heat, getting a lot of pressure to drop out. The progressive wing of the base, in a decision that I disagree with, was like, okay, well, if Biden drops out, we win, we can get another candidate. If he doesn't drop out, we can extract concessions from him by going to him and be like, hey, Biden, you're getting a lot of heat right now. You need people to support you. We will support you if you, I don't know, support an arms embargo, support a $15 minimum wage, push for student debt cancellation, support Medicare for all. Right? If this bill hits your desk, you need to sign it or whatever. Right? They make a deal and Biden's like, yes, I'll do that. Please support me. And they did. But the pressure mounted so heavily that support didn't even matter. So Biden ended up dropping out. Does that make sense? And so because he ended up dropping out, whatever deal they made didn't go through. It didn't happen. That's not a thing. Because he's dropped out. He's not the nominee anymore. And so he wants me to point to Biden like doing something to hold up his end of the bargain that he made with the progressives, even though there was no reason for him to do that in the first place. Yeah, but I don't think he's aware of proof of that deal. Nobody has proof of that deal, chat. It's analysis to analyze their actions. Why would progressives, right, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, why would they support Biden and keeping him in the race instead of a different candidate? Well, we can surmise based on, based on politics and how politics works, right, that they are making their decision to stick behind Biden for some reason. In the same way that Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi were making their decision to push for an open primary for some reason, right? They are guided by their material reality, right? And they want things to happen. They're looking for benefits from engaging with people, And so why do you think AOC supported Joe Biden? Why do you think Bernie Sanders supported Joe Biden staying in the race, right? Hutch seems to think that it was just purely based on vibes, right? Or Hutch seemed to think that they just loved Joe Biden so much and they were totally for his progressive leadership and they really wanted him specifically to be the president. You know what I mean? That's not the case. Very obviously not the case. Oh my goodness, what is she doing out there? Jeez Louise. She's digging in the trash. Cynically, AOC and the progressive crowd might have been overwhelmed by establishment then's backing of Brandon. No, I want to believe that there were backroom deals, though. What do you mean? The establishment didn't back Brandon, right? We're talking about after Barack Obama already flipped, after the donors already flipped, after Nancy Pelosi already flipped. You had AOC posting Joe Biden is our guy. And I know this happened because I covered it. I covered this happening. And I said the exact same thing back then. Everybody was asking, why would AOC do this? Why is AOC and Bernie Sanders backing Joe Biden? He's obviously a failed candidate. He's not going to win the election, and we need somebody new. Right? I think it had to do with the plans for Kamala to be appointed as his replacement. I mean, sure, but like you can like there was a contingent who wanted Kamala Harris, and there was a contingent who wanted an open primary, and people were asking at the time, why is AOC not supporting an open primary? Why is she supporting Joe Biden? Joe Biden is going to lose, right? It's very clearly the case that the progressives who don't oftentimes have a lot of political leverage to use against the establishment wanted to use this opportunity where they do have a little bit of leverage over the current sitting president to maybe pass some legislation through. You know what I mean? Maybe get Joe Biden to sign off on a few things. Right? It's a move that I disagree with, but it's the move that they were clearly making. AOC was not signing on to Joe Biden because Joe Biden was just the super rad, awesome guy. Obviously. Obviously not. I don't think they got any concessions or backroom promises, but they were angling for the possibility of them. No, I think they got something. Again, we never know. We have no idea what was said in these back rooms, right? But I don't think you would have seen them go so hard for Biden if they didn't get a promise. I think Joe Biden saw the writing on the wall and was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll give you whatever you want. Was he lying? Probably. Right? We can come to that conclusion by doing analysis. What we just did here, Chad, what I just walked you through is analysis. We see what AOC wants as a politician, what AOC and Bernie Sanders want as politicians, right? And the decisions that they made by backing Joe Biden, right? And we match it up to the material reality as it exists and seeing if it matches up. Hutch's mentality is that they just liked Joe Biden. That is objectively not based in fact or reality. It's not. You think that AOC, Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, and the progressive wing of the base would rather have supported Joe Biden just cause over literally any other candidate when the entirety of the base and other Democratic politicians and the donors all agree that Joe Biden wasn't the person? No. You could only believe that if you think that progressives are stupid, which Hutch does. Ilhan and Rashida didn't endorse, but it was just a Bernie and AOC, but point still stands. I mean, Hutch is the person who said Ilhan Omar. And they do it because they wanted to swap without open primary. No, because they didn't support open primary. They backed Joe Biden, chat. They didn't support an open primary. They were like, we back Joe Biden. We want Joe Biden to stay in. That's what they said, right? You had three camps. You had the camp that were Biden dead enders who wanted Joe Biden to stay in and actually run as the nominee. You had the Kamala Harris supporters who wanted her to just be handed the nomination, which is inevitably what we got. And then you had the third contingent who wanted an open primary. AOC and Bernie Sanders were not in the third contingent. They were in the first contingent. AOC was posting selfies with Joe Biden saying, "This is our guy." You know what I mean? As he said on live that she did that, she was supporting Biden because the DNC leadership was going to make Kamala's replacement and skip an open primary. Yeah, I don't know if I fully believe that, personally. I think it's as simple as they wanted, right? Because like if that's the case, they would support the open primary. Couldn't you say that they backed Joe Biden to curry favor with the establishment for their own candidates? Yeah, but the establishment didn't want Joe Biden, so probably not. The establishment wanted somebody other than Joe Biden. This is why it was a bad decision regardless. He's getting stuck on what the specific concessions would be. It doesn't matter. What matters is that politically it would make sense for them to back him if he offered concessions. Yeah. I think they were showing strength as ridiculous as it was. I mean, maybe. But like, I don't think that they would show strength by... I don't think AOC doesn't know how to read the room, right? That would only work if you would think AOC doesn't know how to read the room. Bernie Sanders, maybe. Right? But like, what strength? By backing the losing horse? The horse that has dementia and forgot which way the track goes? And then starts running backwards on the track? Like... Right? And this is the problem is that we have evidence of AOC doing this. AOC plays politics, right? To the detriment of a lot of leftists online, AOC loves to play politics. AOC loves to curry favors. She does. AOC will make the back alley deals. AOC will upset her base so that she can garner more political power. We know she does this. We know she does this. Yeah, concession out of him of the first term. Lena Khan, FTC was a Bernie pick. No shot they would have had gotten concessions for the second election too. I mean, they were trying to fire Lena Khan. And that's usually bad. Yes, that's my take. My take is that it is bad. I don't agree with it. I'm not saying it was right, but I'm just saying that they were showing the strength of Democrats together, and Joe's our guy. It didn't go much deeper than that messaging. That's wrong, though. That's incorrect. Shadow, you have to understand, at this time, when you're saying this, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, they already moved on. They were talking about we need the next candidate. The entire Democratic base moved on, right? The funders moved on. The only people who were Biden dead enders were people who were paid to ride for the DNC, right? Like Olivia Giuliana and whatever. And like a few progressives. And Hutch for some reason. That's it. Should have been a primary. I mean, it should have been a primary. That's a different conversation. That is a different conversation. Right? But in that moment, you have the maybe Hutch didn't see the debate. No, he didn't. We saw him seeing the debate, right? In that moment, you have the unpopular sitting president, right, who is looking for any support that he can get. And you walk into his office and saying like, yo, buddy, yeah, I see you're about to get fired. I can advocate on your behalf if you just give us a few things. Sign on this dotted line real quick. That kind of thing. I feel like Bernie and AOC were hoping they would earn them good grades in favor of the DNC, if not getting outright concessions. Yeah, I mean, but that's the same thing. That's at that point is missing words. You know what I mean? They wanted, like good favor, wink, wink, nod, nod. We help you out, quid pro quo, as opposed to like getting like a specific, you can do this thing or you can't do this thing. Again, we will never know. We will never know what was actually said in these rooms by these people at these times. Right? But this idea that like Hutch has good political instincts because he aligned with AOC and Bernie Sanders, when AOC and Bernie Sanders did things that I disagree with, I think were bad, right? Was meaningless. right? Because you position yourself as pro-establishment, and you make Nancy Pelosi look radical for wanting Joe Biden to drop out, even though she has her own agenda. I'm really comfortable saying they almost definitely got explicit concessions from Biden in exchange for shilling for him. There's no way they back someone so insanely unpopular for the hope of goodwill. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. And like for some reason, Hutch does not and cannot understand that. There's no, again, I think people don't really remember how unpopular Joe Biden was at the time. How unpopular Joe Biden was at the time. Like there's not, it's like Chuck Schumer now. Imagine if AOC came out tomorrow and was like, I support Chuck Schumer being the speaker or the leader, the majority leader, minority leader, whatever freaking party we have, right? That would seem very out of character. You'd be like, why is she doing this? Right? She must be doing this for some reason, probably because she had a conversation with Schumer and Schumer promised her something. Right? It's kind of like how Elizabeth Warren staying in the race to cuck Bernie Sanders in the 2020 Democratic primary. Do you think she did that just for vibes? Do you think she did that just for like, you know, for no reason? Or do you think she did that because the DNC approached her, right, for some concessions? They'd be like, hey, if you stay in the race, you'll get these things. I don't know which one of those seems more likely. This is the basic concept, the basic civic concept of political pressure, right? And playing politics. This is literally, it's a colloquial term to be playing politics. That's it. I don't know, act like it's like totally insane that AOC and Bernie Sanders backed Joe Biden, right? Because they were playing politics. It only matters so far as AOC or Bernie looks like they have good or bad political instincts, since that was a bad instinct, even with concessions and those fake promises, backside promises. Yeah. Problem is, this is all conjecture. It's not conjecture, it's analysis. We are looking at AOC and Bernie Sanders doing something out of character and trying to figure out why they are doing something out of character. You know? That's it. Hutch would just say, you're a loony, you have no evidence. Well, fuck Hutch. Sorry, I'm not supposed to be cursing anymore. But still, fuck Hutch. I don't care. Hutch doesn't have good instincts. No one should be listening to anything that Hutch should say. Hutch has proven himself to be wrong. I've proven myself to be correct numerous times. Aren't you cursing? I miss the Lord. I'm cursing too much. I don't like it. I feel like I'm getting out of character. When Alice is back, room deals, you have no proof that happened. DNC tells him Warren to stay in the race. Any evidence? Chatter. This is what analysis is. You look at people's behavior, you analyze their behavior based upon what they've done previously, and you come to conclusions on that behavior. Call it back alley deals, call it back, I don't care what you call it, right? There's a reason why people do things. For some reason, AOC and Bernie Sanders backed Joe Biden when it was unpopular to do so. What is your reason for it? Why did they do it, chatter? For the vibes? Yeah, for the love of the game? He pointed to they agree with me. They were right, or to say they agree with me and they're bad for it. No, he's the first one. He's saying you're getting mad at me for this thing, but AOC also did it. So how do you feel about that? Here's a good example, Chad. Oftentimes, we on the left understand that politicians are guided by their donors, right? So when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, proclaim to be pro-climate, but then side with fracking, right? Is it a conspiracy to say, oh, they're being beholden to their corporate donors, right? Or Joe Manchin being pro-coal when his family, owns freaking coal mines, right? Is it a conspiracy to say, oh, well, he's, obviously being guided by the people that pay him, right? Is that a conspiracy, or is it analyzing, right, a politician's like decision making based upon what drives them and motivates them? And trying to understand what that motivation is, right, is analysis. It's that simple. That's what analysis is. AOC and Bernie Sanders, right, are not establishment liberals or establishment Democrats, and they're not pro-Biden. So why did they support Biden, right? Why did they support Biden in this moment when Biden was unpopular? Again, another analogy. There's a vote that is happening, right? There's a vote that's happening. The Democrats don't have the votes for to pass it, right? There's a bill that needs to be passed, and they don't have the votes to pass it, right? But out of nowhere, it seems that two Republicans decided to vote for this bill out of nowhere. Why did they do that? Wow, this is kind of out of character for these Republicans to do so, right? We can analyze their behavior based on what we expect from them and realize, oh, they probably gave some, fucking concessions to these Republicans to get them on board to vote for this bill. It's almost like that's how politics works in every aspect. Literally every aspect, every single aspect. It is a foundational principle of politics. This isn't a hot take. This isn't me editorializing. This is me describing a foundational principle of politics. Politicians do things for reasons. Trying to find those reasons out, right? And analyzing those reasons based on their behavior, their past behavior, is analysis. This isn't crazy. This isn't made up. This is something that exists. This is something Hutch is good at, getting people off on tangent that aren't even related to the original discussion. You don't even agree with Bernie Sanders and AOC doing that, but he shifted the convo to where's the proof of concessions that you said that they got. Yeah. It's just so dumb. Plot twist, Hutch has been a Dem party strategist since 2010. I don't understand his end game here, to be honest. It's just, honestly, I upset him by pointing out his legitimate hypocrisy. And so now he's trying to feign hypocrisy. That's it. It's also why he gave up. Because I think he's not used to people clapping back because he's such a small streamer that no one cares what he has to say. He was EP? Yeah, he was EP. That's it. Again, this is a foundational part of politics. Where's that chatter at? Because I wanted them to explain it. I wanted them to explain it. I want them to explain, right, what they think AOC and Bernie Sanders were doing by endorsing Joe Biden and supporting him when it was directly unpopular to do so. Shadow was EP2, yeah. There's a Shadow left as well. Maybe they're in ads. I find it funny because Libs like Hutch will guess as to why Kamala wouldn't and shouldn't have supported Palestine, but can't understand your reasonable political analysis. It's literally like baby's first political analysis. It's politician does something. Why did they do that? It's that simple. Politician does something. Why do they do that? Working? Yeah, sure. You're working, even though you were so quick to send these messages. It's that simple. Baby's first political analysis. Why do politicians do things? What drives them? What motivates them? Isn't it like, it's just like, I don't know. Is it now a conspiracy to imagine that Pete got concessions and promises from dropping out when he did? Apparently it is. Chatter, yes. Right? Pete becoming the Secretary of Transportation, right? It's a conspiracy. Conspiracy. Right? For him dropping out when he did. Right? Or I brought up Elizabeth Warren. Right? Staying in the race to cuck Bernie Sanders. The difference is that she got cucked as well because they didn't give her anything. It's just like these people don't understand political concept. They don't understand politics at all. It's why they keep losing. It's why they keep losing. And this is what I tried to explain here when I was like, Hutch, they're politicians. They don't do things for the vibes, right? They are guided by concessions and political promises. Because that's the case. They are guided by concessions and political promises. That's the entire basis of politics. This is a foundational principle of politics. Hutch is so dumb. And y'all are dumb too for parroting his talking points. They do things for reasons. No politician does things just for the vibes. Okay, maybe some do. I don't, who knows what Trump does or why he does it half the time. You feel me? It's all quid pro quo. It's all you scratch my back, I scratch your back. That's literally a foundational principle of politics. It's you do these things for me and I do these things for you. You vote on this bill for me and I vote on this bill for you. I'm pretty sure they talk about this in like freaking political TV shows like Veep and House of Cards and stuff. I'm pretty sure I saw an episode like that where like an intern goes to a senator and is like, yo, we need you for this bill. Can you sign on to this bill? And he was like, well, I can sign on to this bill if you actually sign on to this bill that I'm trying to pass. Well, let me go talk to my boss. Well, boss, they said that they'll sign on to this bill if you sign on to this bill. This is a foundational principle of politics. This is how it works. This is not something that's like hidden or whatever. Like this is a foundational principle of politics. That's all episodes of Veep. Oh, I have not seen Veep at all, so I assume that it's happening because it's literally politics. Often the term conspiracy is applied dismissively whenever one suggests that people who occupy positions of power and economic power are consciously dedicated to advancing their elite interests. Michael Brenti. This is true. But again, I'm objectively correct on this. And then he says, you actually shit up did to me. Well, shit. Brother, you're dumb as fuck. I'm going to bed now. Good night. And then my response is, address this before you run. Which he never did, of course. And this is what I wanted to show as well. And I'm going to show this and I'm going to leave. I'm going to go. I'm going to go sleep and you're going to see me again on Saturday. Probably with a bald head. Just like Hutch. But this is what a chatter sent me as well. Because also he also has a few other, fantastic screenshots like this one where he said, if I were committing a genocide, I would probably at least kill people faster than the birth rate in that region on May 21st, 2024. This is a month before the debate actually happened. You're getting your dreads. You'll see on Saturday, I guess. Least common genocide denial talking point. Yeah. Hutch isn't even breaking any new ground here. He can't even come up with its own propaganda.
The boys are live.
Yo!
The boys are live.
Sagro, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, 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 hello. I hope none of you are Hutch stands, because I don't like that, man. Welcome in. God, no? Thank you. Based. It better not be. Follow Sagro, best socialist late night streamer. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting in on your spot. Well, hope you're well. Hope your streamer's good. Professionally wrong. Hutch is professionally wrong. There you go. We love you. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's my first exposure to this guy. I'm so sorry that I had to expose you to this person. This is Hutch being like, don't vote for her. You are not necessary to this coalition. We will get it done without you. Again, F you, expecting us to do beg. LOL. There's a lot of chuds, but that's expected. Yeah, I can see. Hutch's dad is a cop. His entire worldview revolves around deep throat in the boot while LARPing as a progressive.
I was about to go get that.
Jacob Larson, thank you for the gifted
sub to Coffinspired.
Much appreciated.
They have given 12 gift subs in the channel.
Look at to rating here. Who would have thought? Yeah, I usually don't stream this time. I probably won't do it ever again either, because I am tired. I like my early morning stream where I wake up and I stream late. From your stream yesterday, Hassan, sad girl that via her back here. That's the way to do it. Yeah, and then he posted this one, and that is this is the best. This is the funniest one on November 2nd, 2024. Right, Kamala winning means the worst people you know of will feel like complete shit. MAGA will be caught way off guard because they all think that it'll be a Trump landslide. Elon will be forced to confront the fact that he can't simply buy his preferred outcome. Anti-electoral Twitter, something. And most insufferable streamers, cough, Mike from PA, cough, will be forced to acknowledge that Kamala was smart to pivot to the center and aggressively target moderate Republicans. Guys, please. Objectively wrong. In every case. Was our only shot to rage you, so he went for it. This is true. And it probably will never happen again. But I appreciate it regardless. One day I will return the favor by streaming not late night, but like moderate night. Who wrote that? This is Hutch. Hutch himself wrote that. And guess what? None of that happened. None of that happened. He's professionally wrong. Literally, I think the most wrong person ever. You're rated in before like a month ago. Ah, man, I'm cool. That's wrong. That's why back and forth mom not exists now. People want their material conditions addressed. 100%. He did raid before. He does it for free. He does it for free. But like, he's just wrong. Kamala Harris lost to the couch. People did not go out and vote for her. But Hutch never wants to address that. Mostly because it would break. You know what? You know what it is, chat? Hutch will lose whatever makes him unique if he actually does acknowledge this. He'll just be a worse version of Hassan, instead of being a worse version of Destiny. If he actually did an analysis, he'd be like a less successful version of Hassan. There would be nothing that made him special. He'd just be bald. Did bro miss the Biden uncommitted movement? No, he specifically tells the uncommitted movement to kick rocks. Isn't he the lowest paid person in chorus? I don't even think he actually is in chorus. I think he got paid by the DNC, but or not Progressive Victory. He got paid by Progressive Victory, but he got paid the least amount of money in Progressive Victory. I think that's what it was. of everybody who was paid out through Progressive Victory, he got paid the least amount of money. It was like, I don't know, it was like $50 or something. It was pretty abysmal. I don't remember what it was, but I think that's what it was. Was it $500 total? Maybe it was that. It was abysmal compared to everybody else. It was really bad. He's doing this for free. He's doing this for free. And honestly, this is pretty sad from Hutch. Cause like Hutch has like, I don't know, 6 times my following on Twitter. Like 20 times my following on YouTube. And like 10 times my following on Twitch. And he's getting dogged this hard. Like he should be ashamed of himself. Also, I need to reiterate, people do not like Hutch. Hutch, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm seeing these likes roll in from these people, and they don't like you. Other streamers, they are not fans of you. I have to say. Really, why? No idea. Can't think of it. I got Cody Shody in my replies ducking on you. I got Cody Shody, Anthony Fantano. Like people don't like you, bro. They don't like you. Wasn't he pushing off Israeli propaganda too? 100%. You know it. I mean, this is him doing genocide denial. Right? But then this person said, the third one was incredible. He's like, if you like these, there's even more. Please watch Hear the Mind of a Liberal. Right? So you have this one, which he said this was on February 29th, the last day of Black History Month. 2024, he said, it's a war, a nasty, deadly war, but it's a war. The death toll is harrowing and awful, but I highly, highly, highly doubt that Israel is trying to kill every Palestinian in Gaza. This is just genocide denial. Genocide denial through and through. But then you have this. And I will preface this by saying this is a 3-minute video, and I only watched 20 seconds, but that's all I needed to see. To get, I'm really irrelevant is here too. And the soy pill. Man, this lineup kind of sucks. I don't know much about Pisco. Also, me and I'm Really Irrelevant was on we're on a Jubilee episode together, chat. We were both on the Jubilee middle ground thing.
Who were like pro-segregationists. You'd say like, well, I welcome them within the party, right? They have a D in front of their name, not an R. And so thank you. Like, please, let's fill up with pro-segregationists. You're welcome here.
I mean, we'd be going back to the Democratic Party of, 5 or 6 decades ago, right?
Sorry, that didn't answer my question. Would you welcome?
Oh, the answer is probably yes. Yeah,
to?
in that context, that wouldn't you rather have the New Deal and a Great Society stuff than not? Prime?
Sorry, sorry, stop trying to dodge the question.
Wait, isn't the answer yes?
I'm not.
No, hold on. No, it's not. We're not time traveling because he's like, oh, we're going back in time. No, we're not doing that. I'm saying, hey, like for 2025, right, or into 2026, we have brand new pro-segregationists coming into the Democratic Party. Would you welcome them because they have a D in front of their name instead of R? He says no. Pisco says no. Hutch, what about you?
Maybe. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So that's a difference of opinion here, right? Like I'm against segregationists no matter what decade it is.
Well, do you, I mean, I don't want to get hung up too much. We can move on to the next topic, but like, do you think that Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes.
So, well, I'll let him continue. But this is Hutch being like, yeah, if they're pro-segregationist party, maybe I'll canoodle with them. Maybe I'll cozy up to them.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this is the same person, right? Same person. Don't vote for her. You are not necessary to this coalition, and we will get it done without you. If you expect them to do, beg. Right? Same person who is like crashing out, doing the same thing to other people in my replies. Where's it at? Maybe he's here. trying to find it. Trying to find it. He was just going back and forth, just like quoting people in my replies, being like, yeah, I said it and I'll say it again or something. You know what I mean? He's repeating himself, being like, we don't need you. We don't need you. I don't know where it is, though. Did I save it? I don't know if I saved it. Oh, here it is. I found one. Right? To imposter edits. Says, to be clear, I'm actively trying to alienate people like you based on your feed. That's why you're a problem. F off, make your own party. We do not want you. This was 5 hours ago. But Hutch himself, right, would accept with open arms pro-segregationists coming into the party just because they have a Democrat next to their name. Hutch will, and this is what I said in my tweet, right? Right? Hutch would rather accept segregationists to the party than to parlay with leftists. You cannot make this up. And he got mad that I called him a racist. Which one is Hutch? Hutch is the bald one. This guy. Here. And he said he would be open to accepting segregationists to the party. I guess if it means beating Trump. But he will kick out like black leftists, right? He'll kick out leftists holistically and say, go make your own party. We don't need you. But when it's segregationists, he's like, oh no, please come. Please come. We open you with open arms. Please. Or just a young Biden with less hair. And he's surprised when I called him a racist. I'm telling you, I can clock these things from a mile away. I didn't even see this clip. I didn't even know it existed. But I can clock these things from a mile away. Just by the way he was talking. Now it comes out, he's like, being like, yeah, no, I would rather accept and engage with pro-segregationists as opposed to leftists themselves. Just goes to show that every incarnation of Dr. Phil sucks. True.
Who were like pro-segregationists. You'd say like, well, I welcome them within the party, right? They have a D in front of their name, not an R. And so thank you. Like, please, let's fill up with pro-segregationists. You're welcome here.
I mean, we'd be going back to the Democratic Party of, 5 or 6 decades ago, right?
Sorry, that didn't answer my
Hutch
question.
is legitimately more than Destiny, more than Ethan Klein, more than Asmongold. Hutch is legitimately the most incorrect person I've ever seen on this platform or in my life. Asmongold is dumb and he's stupid, right? But Hutch talks about so many things so confidently, and he's objectively incorrect about it.
The Black says she's my African.
Asmongold only talks about what
Mr.
crosses
Parry
his
just
feed.
subscribed.
Hutch will go out to search for information just to be wrong about it.
Would you welcome?
No, the answer is
Whatever
probably
that
yes.
means.
Yeah, in that context, that wouldn't you rather have the New Deal and a Great Society stuff than not?
Does it mean
Sorry,
I
what
watch
time-
the election? Oh, please.
Harris 308, Trump 230. Lock it in. This is my map right now. I don't think, like, some of these polls to me make no sense. You know what? No, I'm going to give Arizona I'm going to give it to Kamala. Harris 308,
319,
Trump
he
230.
said.
Lock it in. This is my map.
319, he said. Arizona did not go for Kamala. Objectively so. She got 216, bro. Let's see. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't make Texas blue. He made North Carolina blue and it's freaking red. What else we got? He made Minnesota clicked not blue, so that's correct. But he lost Michigan. Michigan is not blue. Or yeah, Wisconsin. Maybe Michigan is not. Where's Michigan at? Oh, this is a part of Michigan? I thought all was Wisconsin. Bro, I'm bad at geography. He lost Michigan and Wisconsin. He really gave Upper Peninsula. That's silly. Give it to Wisconsin. They stole it from us, Wisconsinites. Give it to Wisconsin. If I'm ever president, I give the Upper Peninsula to Wisconsin. That's ours. Not when I'm president. Not when I'm president. Single issue voter. That's just that's Northern Michigan, baby. Nah, it's Northern Wisconsin now. Are you pro segregation? If I'm not, Hutch won't support me. Can you combine the Dakotas? Yes. You combine the Dakotas. South Carolina becomes a part of Georgia. Florida doesn't exist. We free Puerto Rico. We free Hawaii. Hawaiian independence. Alaska goes to the Canadians. What else? I fix whatever's going on in the Northeast. Or not the Northeast, the New England area. Right? Which I guess would be the Northeast. I fix all of that whole mess there. There's no reason to have 17 different states there for no reason. Why are there like 17 different states there? I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that when I'm president. Louisiana territory back to the French? No, the French don't get anything from me. Louisiana independence. You know what? We give Louisiana to Haiti. The entire GDP of Louisiana and everything that Louisiana creates monetarily gets sent to Haiti. And if you live in Louisiana, you're now Haitian. What else? What else would I change? Obviously, the Wisconsin thing. I changed the name of Arkansas to something else. Too confusing. I changed the name of West Virginia. Because it's not West Virginia. It's more like North Virginia. Most of West Virginia is just north of Virginia, not even west. Right? We changed the name to something else too. Northwest Virginia. I like that. Do we give Alaska to Russia? No. Russia gets nothing from me. Bring back the USSR and we can talk. What else we got? What else we got? Let DC vote. DC statehood. We abolished Delaware. Delaware doesn't exist anymore. We give that to somebody else. I don't know. Puerto Rico, already freed. New Mexico's a part of Mexico. Texas, also Mexico. Arizona, Mexico. The southern half of California goes to Mexico. We keep the northern half, okay? You can have up to what's the middle part? San Francisco? No, that's northern. Whatever the middle is of California, we have the rest of it. Hawaii and Guam. I mean, Hawaii's freed. Guam's also freed. You know, independence. Santa Barbara, sure. What else we have? I want to abolish another state just cause. Oh, we abolished Utah. No more Utah. What do you do with Florida? What's Florida? Can you abolish Staten Island? It's technically not a state. That's states' rights. New York can decide what to do with Staten Island. I'll leave it up to the states. Give Florida to Cuba. What's Florida? What about Oklahoma? Oklahoma doesn't exist. Anyway, that's my decree when I'm president. That's what I'll do. Let's continue with the Hutch.
Oh, sorry, stop trying to dodge the question.
Oh, wait, isn't the answer yes?
I'm not.
No,
trying
hold
to
on,
do
no,
that.
it's
Alaska,
not. Hold on,
Alaska's
we're not
Canadian.
time traveling because he's like, oh, now we're going back in time. No, we're not doing that. I'm saying, hey, like for 2025, right, or into 2026, we have brand new pro-segregationists coming into the Democratic Party.
Oklahoma. If you give me the football, am I not supposed to throw it? North Carolina is not the South. Yes, it is. North Carolina is the South. It's where the South starts. Everything North Carolina is not the South.
Them because they have a D in front of the name instead of R. He says no. Pisco says no. Hutch, what about you?
Maybe. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So that's a difference of opinion here, right? Like I'm against segregationists no matter what decade it is.
Well, do you? I mean, I don't want to get hung up too much. We can move on to the next topic. But like, do you think that Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes.
Okay. And
well, Hutch, let me clear it up, right? Because Hutch, the reason you would say yes.
Stuff, but go ahead.
Okay, but tell me if I'm wrong, Hutch. The reason you would ever say yes to a pro-segregationist Democrat is because what's on the other side is now the right has moved so far, even past segregation of, we're doing segregation and a lot more worse stuff.
What? Okay. Now they're just like, the question was, if there is a segregationist in the Democratic Party, would you accept them? Hutch was like, yep, I do it. And then this guy's like, whoa, Hutch, what you're actually saying is that if in this fictitious world segregation exists and the Republicans are doing it worse, right? Then you would support a Democrat who's just doing segregation, while the Republicans are doing segregation and genocide. What are we talking about here? No, Hutch made his position very clear, right? He would support whatever the person with a D next to their name does. That's it. That's what he said. If somebody who was a segregationist came and was like, I want to be a Democrat, I should be like, yes, please. But don't let them be a leftist, though. Don't let them actually stand for something, right? You have to hide your material analysis being around Hutch.
Right, right now, everything the same, but you would welcome a segregationist Democrat?
Say that question again? I'm not
right now, every policy on the right remains the same. I do think this is like we're fascist, treading into fascism, but they haven't said they're going to bring back segregation yet. They're teasing the idea of miscegenation, revisiting that.
But we're talking about fascism, right? Like when we talk about fascism, we should get into the specifics, right? What does that actually look like?
Right. But if the Democrats are pro-segregationists, that's worse than the current right-wing party.
You're saying that if we had, for example,
even he's like, this is an executive order, white men, any perms for mics? Yes. To be fair, I would ban all. You know what I'd do? I'd nationalize Shure, the company. I would nationalize Shure, and then I would raise the price of the microphones. My first decree. I will send the government in to the Shure headquarters and do a hostile takeover. Right? I will do the freaking U.S. destabilization on the Shure headquarters. I will remove the illegitimate leader. Right? I will remove the illegitimate leader of Shure, the CEO, and I will put my own shadow puppet government head as a CEO of Shure, and I will manufacture exclusively $9 billion Shure SM7Bs. That's it. That's what I would do. You have to get through re-education before you can even buy one. Problems would be solved, bro. Problems would be solved. I think all 5 of these people have Shure SM7Bs. Don't look at mine. I think you're going to say nationalize their Patreon, but directly that could work. No. I'm going to the source.
example, like thankfully there are no emerging segregationist Democrats. I'm happy to entertain your hypothetical, but even if we were to do this hypothetical,
Ridiculous.
like you're saying that, like, let's say like one or two like segregationist Democrats emerged and all of a sudden they were competitive in like fucking Nebraska or Missouri. You're saying that us adding that to like get a Senate majority would be worse than the MAGA movement right now? In terms of like,
I think it would be.
What are we talking about?
I think it would make the so if I believed empirically it would help stop Trump, I would encourage you to vote for them. But we just have a different thought process on the empirics. So the empirics are that I think, and I think Soypil is convinced that allowing segregationists into the Democratic Party would like hurt mid to long term results in the brand of the Democrats, such that it would worsen our chances. To
I mean,
or I don't know, they're fucking segregationists. And we should have a moral principled stance against segregationists because it harms the marginalized people who are supposed to be in our movement. What are we getting people elected for? Why are we opposing Trump if it's not to, I don't know, protect the marginalized people? If there's a pro-segregationist Democrat running in Missouri, it is your moral imperative to support the progressive, comparatively, candidate in the primary. It is your moral imperative that that person does not make it to the general election. If you have a segregationist Democrat that makes it to the general election for the Senate, you've lost. We've already cooked. Already cooked. This is just like, okay, this is literally Ben Shapiro argumentation, right? Let's say hypothetically, there was a bomb strapped to a baby chest, and you would have to say the N-word, the real one with the hard R, and if you don't say the N-word, then the bomb will blow up. Hypothetically speaking, would it be moral for you to utter the N-word in that circumstance? Like we're talking about like, he's like, yeah, I guess if you know. In this hypothetical situation where like I need to like vote for a segregationist candidate to beat Trump, then I'll do it. And not like, hey, let's not get into a situation where a segregationist candidate is in that position in the first place. Supporting a segregationist candidate, right, is not like it is a, I don't want to say like a slippery slope, but like as Pisco's saying here, you are going to cause more harm down the line to the Democrats and to the marginalized people in the party holistically. And it's a bad thing to do. Right? It is a bad thing to do. It won't help beat Trump anyway. Can you do a better impression than Hassan? That feels like glaze, but I'll take it.
Do you guys understand that like black civil rights leaders, when they were deciding who they wanted to endorse when FDR was running, they endorsed him even though he opposed an anti-lynching legislation, and even though a third of the
why is Hutch speaking for black people, bro?
Democratic caucus were segregationists and Dixiecrats. Because their concern was fascism was rising, and yet hold on, and yet we have
stop. This is why I don't do debates. Just objectively so. This is why I don't do debates. This is literally, again, I think my analogies are great. This is literally like how like Once you start getting into debates, you start ending up having to debate like the ethics of CP. That's what Destiny and Avash got into, right? You're at this point you're arguing like, no, listen, right? The blacks were okay with segregationists in their coalition, so why shouldn't I be?
Have a conversation these days about like Donald Trump is a fascist threat, and yet like you propose.
Segregation is Democrat 2026 is genuinely insane. Yeah. The correct thing, let me give you some sauce, chat. The correct answer to this is I would do everything in my power to make sure that segregationist Democrat, right, would not be running. And we would have a better candidate. That's the answer. That's the answer. It's very simple. But Hutch doesn't believe in the concept of a primary, as I've learned. If that person is the Democratic candidate, that's who Hutch is going to support. If David Duke himself ran under the Democratic ticket and somehow made his way to a general election, Hutch would vote for him. But we already know genocide is not his red line, so like, why would he stop at that? Does Hutch know who David Duke is? Probably. I'm not voting for segregationists if they're on the Dem ticket. Sorry, if they're the Dem candidate. Well, sorry, you just love Donald Trump, I guess, chatter. I'm sorry, you just love Donald Trump. I made a good Twitter post about this. If you're gonna vote blue no matter who, then just let progressives choose who the blue is. Yeah, but like, then they can't yell about blaming them when the person loses, you know? They don't want to win. They want to lose, but like not be at fault for losing. Anyway, so yeah, I made this tweet, which Hutch didn't respond to, because why would he? But I've been here for entirely too long. It's been 2 hours. This is an hour longer than I wanted to stay. And in conclusion with this, I'm going to do what I promised that I would do. I don't know where his, oh, here it is. I also love that he said he was going to sleep at some point. I don't remember what it was. I guess it was 2 hours ago. No, he said he was going to sleep, but he's still replying to people on Twitter. What, Hutch? You didn't see it? You didn't see my post? Thought you were going to sleep, buddy. I don't know where it is. I lost it. Anyway, he's bald again bad. Yeah, I want to be too. I'm blocking Hutch. And we're done with him. We're moving on. Moving on. How is he a tanky? Did he call Hassan? He calls everybody tanky. He called me a tanky too. Also, I think it's very open and clear that Hutch doesn't even know who I am. So yeah, there's been 2 hours of your life talking about how segregationists are not actually anti-colonial and anti-oppression. We're doing it so unserious. Yeah, and that's why we're moving on. Hutch will cry, and he will continue to cry. He also has no emotion, so like he's irrelevant. It's easy dunks and easy layups, so we're just gonna move on. But move on, I mean go to sleep. Is he like a Destiny liberal? Yes. I'll see y'all in a few days, chat. I will look different when I come back, as well as I'll say. I will look different when I come back. You won't know until Saturday. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Side Girl, for the raid. Also, Mr. Perry, thank you for the 8 months. Yeah, if that's it and that's all, I will catch y'all on the flip side. Um, yeah. Where's my I'll catch y'all later. Okay, that didn't work. Adios. Okay, before I leave, man, Pirate Software fall off is crazy. He's at 1.3K viewers right now. He used to get like 15,000. Anyway, bro, there's like nobody freaking live. Anyway, I can send you to Alveus though. Have fun at Alveus. You should raid him. I'm not doing that.